Hi, I'm actually recording this the night it goes live. I've had appointments today, so I've been busy. Alright, for those that missed, I think it was like one of last week's videos when I talked about Eugenia. She's now admitted that there is a problem and that she's getting help. She's working with her doctors to get help. Now, I was plodding along on Twitter and I noticed Repzion had tweeted something about does anybody know which video or live stream it was where Greg said he wouldn't talk about Eugenia again, and he tried to find it, and I'm like, why, what's going on? So then I looked into it, and apparently Greg is now taking credit for Eugenia getting help. Now, I don't think Greg knows the slightest thing about eating disorders. If he does, it's probably not that much. When it comes to an eating disorder, particularly if it's an adult like Eugenia is, Eugenia's over the age of 18, so parents can't force her into treatment. The only time she'll go into treatment is if she willingly goes into treatment. Now, we don't know what happens behind the scenes with her family. We don't know what conversations have happened with her and her family and the doctors. We don't know if there's something that's happened, because I know not long ago she had a break because she wasn't well. Whether it was because of that she realised how much damage she's actually doing, we don't know. And the thing is, we won't know because that's none of our business. It's none of our business to know the ins and outs of her medical treatment. It's not our business to know the ins and outs of where she's getting treatment, why she's getting treatment, what caused her to finally give in and get treatment. We don't know. The only thing is, Greg's saying that it's lots of people are saying Greg's taking credit for her getting help. And I watched one of his videos. It's like 5-minute 40-second video about Eugenia. And he's talking about it, and he's like, I stopped doing videos because I thought she weren't going to live much longer. I thought she was, she was going to die soon. He said, so stop doing videos, but it doesn't mean I stopped fighting. I was fighting behind the scenes. I was talking on Twitter. I was tweeting people. I was tweeting Jacqueline. I was tweeting Richie. I was tweeting Shane. I was tweeting people she knew in real life to try and get them to talk and to get help. Now, the only problem is, I know this for certain because I have family members that have had eating disorders, and when I was at college, which, by the way, in the UK is different than college in the universities, I was there from 16 to 18, there was a girl in my year that had an eating disorder. And no matter many times you're saying you're hurting yourself, actually, there might have been 2, but that's beside the point, no matter how many times you tell them that they're hurting themselves, no matter how many times you tell them that they are killing themselves, in their head, they don't hear it. All they see is the number on the weights change, the clothes getting baggy, that's all they see, and the amount of compliments they might be getting, oh, you look good, you've lost some weight, or whatever, or stuff like that. And it's like, a lot of people say, yeah, but she needed help. It's like, yeah, she needed help, but if she was going to get help because of public pressure, then that would have happened last year. I think it was last year or the year before, when she was being spoken about on Dr. Phil and the doctors on every news programme in America and by multiple people in America, including channels like Greg's. Now, we don't know if Shane's helped. We don't know because, again, that's private. What happens in private stays in private. If there's not a camera there, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, providing I'm being the strong, she will only get help when she is ready to get help. It's the only time she's going to get help. She won't get help for any other way, because of the plain simple fact is, she feels like, usually what happens with anorexia, it's mental illness, where your brain sees your body in one way when your body's actually a different way. And when you when people are going on at you, oh, you need help, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that, it doesn't help. People did that. I'm going to use another famous case, which is Karen Carpenter. She was one of the brothers. She was in a group called the Carpenters, and then her and her brother released lots of music together. Before her death, she was extremely fit and she got help. And then afterwards, it looked like she was doing better, but then she died. And it was found out afterwards that when she died, she'd actually died of heart failure, which is quite common with people with anorexia and bulimia. And it also revealed that she had something similar to this in her system. Now, I use this because I have a bad thyroid. My thyroid doesn't work properly. In this country we use levothyroxine. I think in the US you use something slightly different, but we use this. And she had something extremely similar to this in her system, despite the fact that her thyroid worked perfectly. So what she was doing is she was purposely taking thyroid medication, which is engineered to help speed up people's metabolism, because those of us with a bad thyroid, we like a certain enzyme and it slows down our metabolism. And when you take it and you don't need it, it will actually cause your metabolism to speed up. And that's what she was doing, and it was causing damage. So she was still losing weight, but people were on at her because she was eating. She'd eat in front of you. But because she was taking this, and if you take this and you don't need it, it can cause a lot of issues. But she had a lot of people. She had her family putting her into rehab and facilities, and she had the press and all different interviewers, everybody literally going on at her. You're too thin, you're too thin, you're too thin. You need help, you need help, you need help. Basically, it was basically an older version of what's happening with Eugenia, where it's like, you need help, you need help, you need help. That isn't going to make somebody with an eating disorder get help. They have to hit what's called rock bottom, like with an addict, with anybody with any form of mental illness or any form of eating disorder. And I don't just mean anorexia and bulimia, I mean like binge eating and things like that. You have to hit rock bottom. You have to hit a certain level where you're like, right, shit, I need to get help because otherwise I'm dead. And no matter how many times people will tell you that that's what's going to happen, it takes for you to actually realise it for you to spur you on to get help. Now, do I think that this is going to work? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because the problem is with people with eating disorders, it's as soon as they're out of treatment, it's so easy to fall back. It's so quick to fall back. And the amount of times people with eating disorders do pass because of issues with their mental health, because of their physical issues, because when you starve your body of food, you starve your body of the essential nutrients it needs to operate. You need sugars and glucose and carbs and vitamins and minerals to make sure your brain's healthy, to make sure your heart's healthy, to make sure your lungs are healthy, to make sure your digestion's healthy, to make sure every part of your body works. And without that, your body will start to give up. And I think Eugenia's at that point, and she's actually realised that, shit, I need to stop now. Whether it'll be a short-term fix, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. There's nothing else. But the place of the fact is, Greg's saying this. Eugenia's only got help. He didn't actually say Eugenia's only got help because I've done this. It's like, you guys were pivotal because you guys were talking about it. And then when you guys would talk about it, I'd talk about it. I'd tweet and message people and DM people that knew her, like Jacqueline, like Richie, like Shane. And, you know, I was trying to spur them into getting her help at this, that and the other. And he's like, you guys were doing the same. It's like, you know, I think that's what did it, type of thing. And he's like, no. Considering the fact that Eugenia on record in the past has said that she pays very little attention to what Greg says. And the 3 people he was tweeting to help Eugenia were through people he has issues with, which is Shane, Social Repose, and Jacqueline Glenn. He and Jacqueline Glenn have hit, you know, they've had issues in the past where they don't agree. Part of it was because of Rich, part of it was because of other stuff. And then you have the fact that he'd take her out of context, that he'd take a clip and use that and say that she said something she didn't. He tried to ruin Rich's relationships, which Richie did all on his own anyway. But the plain simple fact is he was using personal information he got off Isla, who is since accused of being a predator. He got private information off Isla and tried to use that to ruin Richie. And then on top of that, you have the fact that he was literally trying to ruin Richie's life. And then the fact that he's calling Shane a predator and he's asking for Shane to help Eugenia is like, you can't call Shane a predator in one breath and then expect him to help you out in another. At the end of the day, he's trying to take responsibility for something that he has no responsibility over. He's saying that it's because of his Twitter rampage and that people trying to reach out to people is what's caused him to get help. No, something's happened behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And we have no right to know what that was because it's behind the scenes and it is none of our damn business. And at the end of the day, she'll never tell us. And like I say, it's none of our damn business. And the fact that he thinks it is our business completely astounds me. So, but yeah, there is that. I don't know what I'm going to cover for the rest of the week. I haven't off top, I think. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. But when it was the fact that he was taking the kudos for helping him when he's probably had nothing to do with it. Anyway, stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you on Wednesday.